So for my project, I chose to collect toys and stuffed animals for children who are patients in the Pediatric Center in Hackensack University Medical Center. Why did I pick this particular project? Well, I chose this special place because, as most of you know, I once was in a position like those kids there. I know what it feels like to be alone, bored, and very depressed after being diagnosed with some disease that is horrible and very scary. Not everyone has great friends like Brian. Stand up. There you go. To visit and cheer them up. I want to do just that. I've also written note cards that, with a personal note from me to make their days better in their rooms. I'd like to say thank you to those of you who donated towards this collection. And if you'd like to give a new toy under $10, please act now. Just kidding. I will be collecting toys and bringing them to the hospital until the end of June. As you can imagine, there are many people who are deserving of thanks today. I would like to begin with my Temple Beth Shalom family. That includes the youth group for their awesome programming, Havrim B'Shirim for singing last night and throughout the Temple year, all my teachers including Ingrid, Scott, Bonnie, Iris, Cheryl, Miss Diane, Kiowa, and Mrs. Stroh. And great Temple leaders like Mr. and Mrs. Boardman, John Gottlieb, Sharon Ball, Michael Molaski, and Flo and Andy Hannes. Of course, the list goes on and on. One way I'd like to say thank you to TBS, and in keeping with the agriculture theme of my Torah portion, is to give the plants that will decorate my celebration back to the temple for us to plant tomorrow. Another set of people I'd like to thank are my friends. Thank you for traveling here to this synagogue to join me on this special day. You all have been there for me, and you all are such great people in my life. I hope that the bus ride was fun and that you weren't too noisy for Gladys and Monica. By the way, thank you guys too. More important people I'd like to thank is my extended family. That goes from Pittsburgh to Connecticut and from California to New York and, wait for it, New Jersey. A special shout out to my almost 99-year-old great-grandmother, Marcy, who has made this whole family be, from generation to generation of Steeler fans. Lador Vador. I couldn't ask for a better family to rely on. Semi-Steeler gear, share great seders with, and so much more. Thank you all for coming far and wide to be here today. Two family members that didn't need to travel far to be here, but still I owe a ton of thanks to are my Uncle Josh and Aunt Marta. They've done so much to help my parents plan this day, from making Excel spreadsheets to show far lessons, suit fittings, and so much more. Your attention to detail was second to none. Thank you for all of your help in letting me play with your dog whenever I want. It's true. My loving uncle was trained by my amazing, loving grandparents, Grammy and Saba. They've taught me so much and have taken me to various places, but the most special place to me was their farm, Saba's farm. It was less than an hour from here and was the most special place to be a kid. Thank you for giving us free reign of a place where Jeremy, Hannah, and I could swim, go on creek hikes, ride boats and ATVs, build forts, have campfires, put on shows, and even shoot BB guns. In fact, I'd like to thank Jeremy for almost shooting my eye out with the BB one day. Yeah, everyone, let's give him a clap. Come on. Yeah, he shot me. But in spite of that, my big brother has helped me a lot in my life. In fact, when my pediatrician said that my sugar levels were dangerously high, Jeremy insisted that he'd go with me, my mom, my Grammy to the hospital. He played video games with me in the emergency room for hours and even figured out how to get me food when I was finally allowed to eat in the middle of the night. He was the first to figure out how to work my sensor, and even though we fight and he calls me names, I know that he loves me and will always have my back. I love you, Jeremy, although not as much as Hannah. See what I did there? My sister, Hannah Leah Shinder, is a girl who has had a temper since day one. I know. She's my favorite sister. Hannah, thank you for making forts and watching weird YouTube videos with me. In fact, since you are so great in Hebrew, you were the first one who I ran to show how Mom messed up my Bar Mitzvah invitation by writing my name in Hebrew wrong. The funny thing about this incident is the fact that she is a rabbi. Props to the greatest rabbi who can't even fix a tiny Hebrew error that was sent to hundreds of people. Even though my mom can't spell, she did teach me my Torah and Haftorah portions. She is the whole reason why this event is happening. I am so proud of her that she chose not to wear a pantsuit today or wear a ridiculous hairstyle, both which would make her look like Hillary Clinton and not my mom. The spectacular rabbi of Florida, New York. And finally, I'd like to thank my dad. He is the one who brings me to games, shows, doctor appointments, and so much more. He is a great friend and companion. Even though people can be great, they can still have their faults. Sit tight. My dad almost killed me one night. It's true. In addition to my medication I take during the day, I need a large dose of long-acting insulin at bedtime. One night, he set up the much stronger medicine and was about to shoot my arm before I had to scream at him to say, "Wrong pen!" Since then, there has been no other bad events. Yet. And so, in conclusion, I love my family in spite of the shots, both BB and insulin. My mom tells me that most of her students tell a quick little, "I love my family" ditty and sit down. But hey, I worked hard for this day, and this beautiful bima is mine. Seriously, before I take up too much of your time, I would like to end by thanking you all for being here today. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
No, you cannot sit. Larry Shinder, please join your son on the bima.
Oh, God.
Your turn.
This is a tough act to follow. You know, when Rebecca started out as a rabbi, somebody suggested that the senior rabbi approve her speech. And she said no. Well, somebody suggested that they approve my speech, and I said no. Anyway, first, before I start, there's a couple of people I absolutely have to thank. I want to thank the people from this temple for the vision of the renovation you've done. This temple, which has always been our home, and it's beautiful, but it's even more beautiful now. And I'm so glad that for Jacob's Bar Mitzvah, that we're in the new, it's like the new Yankee Stadium. I'm very, thank you. And I also got to thank Uncle Josh and Aunt Marta, who have been basically unpaid consultants for this Bar Mitzvah. I very much appreciate all the work you've done. Jacob, when you're not fighting with your siblings, Jeremy and Hannah, you are charming, funny, and empathetic. I hope that I can be a good role model for you as my late father Norman was to me. I did something called Life Lessons. And actually, by the way, that's my favorite commercial, Life Lessons, Uncle Ben's. You can see it on YouTube. The Life Lessons. The first thing is, when you were younger at the farm, you almost drowned one day because you jumped in the water without knowing how to swim. And I am a horrible swimmer, and I jumped in and I saved him. Thank God I didn't drown. Anyway, my point to you is, whenever you're in trouble and you feel like you're drowning, anything, you can always come to me and talk to me about anything, like I did jumping in the pool saving you. Okay. I hope that one day, hopefully 10 to 15 years from now, that you will marry somebody 10 times smarter than you, just like I married somebody 100 times smarter than
That is true.
And hopefully Hannah will marry somebody 10 times better than me. And anyway, one of the important lessons in life, I think, is being the hardest worker you can be You know, whether you're Derek Jeter running out a ground ball, and if you're in the woods and a hungry bear is chasing you and you're you just got to outrun the people next to you. But the point is, you've got to be the hardest worker. My next life lesson is you need to have passion in life. When I call my boss Jeff at 3 in the morning with questions discussing work, or calling him on Saturday or Sunday with work, that's passion. And you need to find the passion in life, what you want to do, that it's not work, that you just love it. And one thing I've noticed your passion is you love animals. Jacob loves dogs so much that when he was about 4 years old, he did what's called an industrial commercial, where it wasn't going to be on TV. They were just doing it for their own internal review. And Jacob's commercial was with a dog who was knocking an ice cream cone out of his hand and then pick it up with the paper towel. Anyway, the people running the commercial were very nervous because there were a bunch of big dogs, and they came over to me and said, "Is your son going to be okay with the dog?" And we turn around and he's petting the biggest dog there. and that, I don't know what you're going to do in life, but the key is passion. And the way you have passion for dogs, I just don't know what it is. You love trumpet. You'll figure it out, but you've got to love what you do in life. And you can ask Jeff, as my witness. Okay. Probably the most important quality in life is being kind. And I've done, and I hope this is, I've been a good role model for you. And there was a neighbor of mine who was declining, and I would take her to the pharmacy. I would take her to church, just trying to be kind. And another situation I had was about 10 years ago. I was at a tax meeting, and there was a colleague of mine who was from the Midwest and was really nervous about getting to his train. And I walked him to the train. And he was always appreciative, and now he's my boss. So it's always good to be kind to people. And I didn't know at the time he was going to be my boss. Anyway, you've been doing mitzvahs and being kind to people all the time, not even special projects. When we went through a bad situation with my mother, you came with me, and we got her mattress and her box spring to bring to her assisted living because she needed it. And I couldn't have done it alone, and you were there helping me carry it. And that was very nice of you. And the other thing you did was, I have a friend of mine who needed some furniture, and I said to him, "You can have whatever furniture you want in my mother's house, it's yours." And he was going to rent a U-Haul truck, and it would cost like $100. And I figured out that all her furniture combined was worth less than $100. So Jacob and I went to my mother's house, and we got all the furniture my friend wanted, and we delivered it to his house. And that's a mitzvah, and you're doing this all the time. Not even a special project, you're kind. And my second to last one is to be super close to your family. When I got married 17 years ago, and I look at my side of the family, I have very few people here that were here 17 years ago when Rebecca and I got married. I have only one living aunt who's here. We're very close. I have a cousin here. I have the Santucci family here. I have my co-workers, my friend Doris. A lot of people it's been a long time, and it's just so... my brother's family. Sorry. And when you have family and friends, you've got to really cherish it and appreciate every day with your friends. And then two more things. Final thing, okay. You need to have a thick skin and not let things bother you. The other day, when I brought my whole office home, Rebecca exploded at me. I'm bringing like 30 boxes of cartons to the house, in my office, and I was ready to duck from a dish. And the thing is, when things happen, you just gotta let it roll off you and not take things. Don't let things bother you. Just laugh it off. So, and that's it. You're a great kid, and that's it.
Father is always get approval by your senior.
Nope.
I would like like to call John Gottlieb forward to represent your Temple family.
There is just no way to follow that. All the thought that went into it, we're gonna just improvise from here. So, we've seen you go on an amazing journey. I'm sure at this point, you're going, we're almost there. But where you're at now is the beginning of another amazing journey. It's an amazing journey that's been supported Lador Vador by amazing family, by generation to generation rabbis, by a large family that loves you, by a temple family that loves you, that you love, that supports you. And where you're going is going to be amazing because that family is going to be there. The first thing that I'd like to do is give you the first book for your adult Jewish library, your Tanakh. And I'm certain, beyond any doubt, that your family knows what you will do with your family in the future will be great. It will be supported. It will be the next connection. So it's my honor as President of Temple Bethel to give you this to begin your future as an adult Jew. Thank you for being here. The next thing I'd like to do is present you with your Bar Mitzvah certificate, which your family was with, and I was with and witnessed. And it says, in becoming a Bar Mitzvah, Jacob Aaron Schinder has accepted the privileges and responsibilities of being a Jew, lifelong Torah study and keeping of mitzvot, Shabbat, holy day, and life cycle observances, participation in the life of the synagogue, the Jewish community in Israel, dedication to Tikkun Olam, the perfection of our world. Welcome, thank you, and we look forward to a fantastic future. Come here.
So I'd like to ask another amazing temple leader, Dr. Greenblatt, to come forward to represent our sisterhood. I'd like to invite Loretta Trinko to join us on the Bima to be in place for our next presentation.
Congratulations, Mazel Tov. I'm honored to present you with a Kiddush Cup from Sisterhood. You know, this has been your Jewish home. You came here, you were in a stroller. I was speaking to your father, you know, good morning, congratulations, and we talked about how my son Sam was Rabbi Schinder's first bar mitzvah here. So we go way back. And one day, you never know what's going to bring, what life is going to bring, and you may be here forever. But one day you may find a new Jewish home, whether it's in New Jersey or in California or in Israel or in Australia. But I always want you, Sisterhood, the temple, your temple family, always wants you to remember Temple Bet Shalom. So take this Kiddush cup and take it out every once in a while and remember us. And congratulations, you did a wonderful job today. Mazel tov.
Hi. Well, before I get started with the youth group stuff, Jeremy asked me if I would read 5 things not to say during your bar mitzvah speech. All right. So, yo, Hebrew homies. So I had to learn this Haftorah portion, and I'm all, can you text it to me? And the rabbi's all, no. What's up with that? Wearing my grandfather's tallit reminded me of the essential itchiness of life. And as Moses learned on Mount Sinai, desert wandering is a drag without sunscreen. Now I be hanging with my minion peeps doing the prayer thing. You keep. My speech is on my phone. Okay, so Mazel Tov, you did it. I know that you were really nervous about the hard, but the hard part is over, and you did great. You already know that the youth group is looking forward to you joining us. You're practically a member already. So on behalf of the youth group, I give you your certificate and your official floaty t-shirt. And once again, I apologize that your room downstairs was turned into the youth group room. But we look forward to welcoming you back into the room, and we look forward to your new ideas and spunk. Mazel tov again, you did great.
Thank you. I forgot about that. So it is true. We came here, and Larry and I had very young children, and there was this room that became their toy room and hangout room, and they were kicked out, and now it's the youth group lounge. But they grew out of it. But now, as Loretta said, you've grown back in. I have more certificates to present to you. As a reminder with the pen we signed long ago at 9:45, right? With your certificate, we use the pen that we sign all of our Bar Mitzvah, Bat Mitzvah certificates with, the pen that was commissioned on behalf of the establishment of the land of Israel. We do so because we're here in Florida and New York, and still Israel in many ways remains our spiritual home. We live in Haworth, New Jersey. Haworth, New Jersey, how are you guys doing back there? Haworth, New Jersey. Israel is still our spiritual home. And so our congregation presents you with not one but two certificates for travel in Israel, one presented by the Federation of Greater Orange County, and the other by NIFTY, as you well know, the North American Federation of Temple Youth. Jacob got a kickstart on that, and there are some of your NIFTY friends here already. And so it is our hope. Dad doesn't need to be consulted. You will go to Israel and experience the land for yourself. We also have a certificate for you as a youth member of ARTSA, the Association of Reform Zionists of America. It is so important to keep our eyes on what is happening in the progressive movement in Israel as well. And so there's all kinds of presentation, there's all kind of bar mitzvah swag going on here, but we conclude with a blessing. And in order for us to do that, I'm going to invite Dad to join us back on the bima as we meet Saba in front of the open ark. I ask that you all now please rise.
May God bless you and keep you. May God cause the countenance to shine upon you, be gracious unto you. So Adonai panav lecha, yisem lecha shalom. May God lift up the countenance upon you, Jacob, and grant unto you all your wrongs, the gifts of peace and shalom. Together we say, Amen.
And so, Jacob, our people have the opportunity to say that we are very lucky and proud, and we all have the mazal of bringing you another now young man in our congregation to Torah. We celebrate by singing
Please be seated. Oh, wait. You stand up. We continue on 586. Orally. Middle of 586. The rabbi, the mother, the daughter. It's a lot. That's okay. On page 591, we remain standing as we turn to page 597. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. May their memories be for a blessing. Zichronam livracha. We continue on page 598 as we praise God's name with the words of the Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah, B'alma divrach yutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'yamechon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'avala v'bizman